Hello and welcome to the buying guide for the all-new E-flite F-18 Hornet, our 80mm EDF jet. And I gotta tell you what, guys, this is gonna be a fun buying guide because this thing is awesome. The size, the scale, the initial curb appeal of it sitting here on the table, this is spectacular. So this is available as a bind and fly basic, where it comes with that AR636 receiver with AS3X and Safe Select. This is also available as a PNP, which is plug and play, where you have to add in your own receiver. Both variants will need a 6S LiPo, and we recommend anywhere between a 4,000 and a 7,000. So it's a pretty big range. A lot of you will probably just throw a 5,000 in there and call it a day, but it will accommodate a 7,000 for that a little bit extra flight time. Now, if you're new to EDF jets, you'll notice there's not really a wingspan listed. EDFs are always rated by the motor itself. So the ducted fan in here, that 12-blade ducted fan, is actually an 80mm diameter. That's how jets are kind of rated. So keep that in mind. And EDF stands for electric ducted fan, if you're unfamiliar. So that might help some of you guys out a little bit if you're new to getting into jets for the first time. That being said, maybe not the best first jet. We'd probably recommend the Viper, maybe the F-15, the 64mm F-15. If it's your first jet. We never recommend a EDF jet as a first plane, ever. You definitely want to have some experience with trainers, warbirds, things of that nature. So I would say this is probably like a intermediate to advanced level plane. That being said, it does have Safe Select, so I don't want you to just get discouraged me saying that, especially if you're shopping for maybe your second or third plane, that this is hard to fly. This does have Safe Select. Now you can either assign that to a switch, you can leave it on all the time, or you can turn it off and run AS3X only. Regardless, the bind and fly basic version, which we're talking about now, has all those features, and AS3X is always on unless you go in the programmer app and turn it off. That's gonna help smooth it out, as with all our planes, just makes it fly better in general. Now going back to the plane itself, this is the 2-seat variant, which a lot of people picked up on. Everyone's kind of on the fence if they like the single seat or the 2-seat. We did the 2-seat. But you got the one pilot in there. The awesome gauges, the detail work on the hatch itself is actually pretty awesome. We'll zoom in on that a little bit better for you guys. This does have one fan in it, so I know a lot of you will see the two, obviously, turbines sticking out like a true F-18 would. It's one fan, so everything's ducted into one and goes out the back. Gives it a really unique sound. It actually sounds a little different. Actually, maybe a little more real than some of our other EDFs. We're getting better and better with doing that. So the F-18 captured that really well. So I think we'll talk about a couple more things that I kind of brushed by already. Removable nose piece, which helps really for transportation. It's not really like a breakaway nose necessarily, but it just helps transportation and storage purposes. See all your ordnance sitting here, drop tanks, missiles, etc. Moving back a little bit further, you see the actual flaps themselves, ailerons. Moving back further, you got rudders on both vertical stabs, and then of course the super cool full flying horizontal stabilizers. Very nice. Then of course the retracts, kind of my main favorite thing on this plane because, well, they kind of sell themselves in my opinion. That's freaking awesome. I mean, you can't beat that. And of course, the front has gear doors, which is very cool, and the back actually twist and rotate when they go in. A lot of people noticed that in the product video. It's a very nice touch. Again, this is part of the extra scale, we're calling it, line from E-flite. So you see a lot of the little things like lighting, things like panel lines, intricate details, really trying to make the plane look as real and authentic as possible. That's kind of what it's all about with the F-18 Hornet. This has Metal Gear servos throughout, so you got to think there's kind of a lot of servos in this. You got 2 separate rudders, you have the full flying stabs, flaps, ailerons, retracts. There's 3 of them. It's a lot of servos. They're all Metal Gear. Very nice touch. Also, final thing is there's no glue for assembly. So you can actually throw this together, we say, in the same amount of time it does as it takes to charge the battery. So realistically, you could buy this, head to the field, charge a battery, and fly. I know probably shouldn't rush it for sure. You definitely want to go through a pre-flight check, make sure everything's good to go. Just something else to consider. So to quickly recap for you guys, E-flite F-18 80mm jet, available in bind and fly basic, where you will have to provide a DSMX transmitter and a 6S 4,000 to 7,000 milliamp hour LiPo battery. and you'll have to have a way to charge it, obviously. And available as a PNP. Well, you'll have to do the same thing, but also provide a receiver for this as well. We recommend a 6+ channel transmitter. Realistically, to get best use out of this, you really should have a 7+ transmitter. Otherwise, you're gonna kind of have to cheat safe select, sharing it with flaps, maybe retracts. It's not really ideal, or you'll have to fly with safe on all the time or off all the time. So if you plan on really wanting to use safe select, we recommend a 7+ channel transmitter for this. So again, we'll let you guys go. Happy shopping, and thanks for watching the buy guide for the E-flite F-18 Hornet 80mm EDF fighter jet.